What's up, everyone? Welcome to a very exciting episode of Beyond the Bell. Today, we have a very exciting guest. I would like to introduce you guys to Andrew Lucha Bridge.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys? This is Andrew Lucha Bridge. I'm excited to be in this amazing podcast, Beyond the Bell.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you on here. So, tell us, where are you from, Andrew?
All right, so this is kind of weird just to put the fact out there for the people. I was born in Kentucky, right? I was born in Kenton, Kentucky, really. But I was raised my entire life in Mexico, Nuevo León, Mexico. And yeah, I was my parents are Mexicans, and I was raised there my whole entire life. I have two nationalities, but I proudly like to say that I am from Mexico because you know that's where I grew up. That's where I learned everything. That's where I most importantly learned my wrestling skills in Mexico. So yeah,
Yeah, and you started training at, what was it, the age of 10 years old, wasn't it?
yeah, 9 years old. Yeah,
Oh,
I was a
9 years old, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what was that like, training as a child?
Well, it all started like I was in elementary school, and my grandfather, que en paz descanse, he just came up random with random things all the time. He was a mechanical engineer, and he just like came up to me one time in my room. He was like, "Hey, you try to train pro wrestling?" You know what I mean? Like he just randomly came up to me like that, and I was like, first of all, I was like pro wrestling. Like I was a big fan, of WWE. My family's as a pro wrestling fan. My favorite wrestler when I was a kid was Triple H.
Oh,
Uh,
easily. I can guess your favorite tag team, I bet then.
yeah. What's your favorite wrestler? Like,
Honestly, Jeff Hardy. The way he did the Swanton Bomb was absolutely beautiful.
yeah, dude.
I mean, like, no one does it like him anymore because he used to just arch all the way and get up there and he'd flip at the last minute.
Crazy, dude. Like this time, but anyways, yeah. So I went there. Was downtown. Saw a lot of things downtown in Mexico. Really crazy. But yeah, I just went there into the ring. They took care of me while I was training. I learned the basics like rolls, and like when I first took like my first bump. Yeah, that's where I was like, oh my god, and I was like, if I really wanted to do this or not, because I was like, the mats in Mexico are different than the U.S. I don't know if you knew that.
I mean, I know either way they're hard and that they
They're
hurt.
yeah, they're both hard, and it's a little stiffer in Mexico, so that kind of
Ooh,
took
that's
the
huge.
air out of me. But I was watching Lucha Libre back then too, and Mystico was, it was my go-to. He's popular again these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I started wrestling. I just keep training consistently. My grandpa was really a huge impact on me since he was like motivating me to push me into this amazing and beautiful sport.
And it really is an amazing and beautiful sport. So, are you like from a wrestling family, or are you like a first generation wrestler, the only wrestler?
Yeah, I am a first generation wrestler. But my big brother Kevin, shout out to him. He did like the real like the how do you call this one, that like the real wrestling, the like the mixed martial arts wrestling.
Amateur wrestling?
Yeah, amateur wrestling, and he was in the national team and all that stuff. So, but in pro wrestling, I'm the first one in the family to do it. So I'm really proud of that. And in case my brother wants to be a pro wrestler, I can square him away.
You can get him in there, you can get him going, huh?
Yeah. So yeah.
So, I guess since you were training lucha libre, did you start like wrestling with a mask, or have you always been an unmasked wrestler?
So I debuted when I was 13 years old. Right. It all started, with baby steps. Obviously, I was a kid when I was training lucha, and I had my training partner, Rey Sultan from Monterrey, same from my hometown and all that. We were like trading partners, right? And obviously, yeah, every kid in Mexico or even in the U.S. watching Rey Mysterio or some other mask wrestler, that's their dream to have their mask. That's a big cultural thing in Mexico to have a mask, and trying to be like your superheroes. So I had my brother draw the design of my mask. Made them when I first saw my mask. It's not the one that I currently come out as an entrance. I don't know if you've ever seen that. My mask is like a red one.
I did see that once, I believe. I was watching. I was able to catch one match before the show.
Yeah, but yeah, my last very first, well, my first mask, it was black, and it was like inspired with Spider-Man 20. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, you can tell.
Well, dude, I love Spider Man.
Yeah. So it was inspired with 2099 Spider-Man, the future one, and it had like the Venom logo in the back. So, but the eyes were red. So you can imagine at night, I couldn't see anything.
Well, God, no.
But yeah, but I debuted it with my mask, and I wrestled for about maybe 4 years or 3 years with a mask until I moved to the U.S. and I just decided to take it off.
And were you always Andrew Bridge when you wrestled then?
Yes, I was always Andrew Bridge when I wrestle. My last name is Puente, and my dad always he had like code names and at work, and his code name was Bridge. He basically just translated Puente to English, and it's Bridge. So I just kind of did that little fun little kind of goofy thing, But hey, I like it. That's what matters.
Hey, it's a good name, man. And like,
Thank you.
I mean, sometimes just using your real name and even just a little different variation of it is the best way because, I mean, you're being you, and I can tell that when
Yeah,
you wrestle and everything. It's what you do and it's what you love.
yeah, man. But with I do miss sometimes my mask, but taking it off, I think I used to be a very introverted introvert person. Like how do I say that? Like like
You used to be
I want to,
introverted
yeah,
and you kind of
and
just want to stay away from people, but like taking the mask off was kind of your change or what?
yeah, it was a personal challenge. I just wanted to get out of my shell and become someone new, and it's just personal challenges that I wanted, and I see that in the United States, in my personal opinion, they work more with the facial expressions and the looks of the face, and I just wanted to take that step, and it's working out really well. But I do miss the mask. That's why I wear it in the entrance. So yeah.
So, other than like your typical normal, match, have you ever been in any other stipulations at all?
What do you mean, like stipulate? Like,
Like different match types, like a ladder match or like a, hardcore or anything like that?
well, I've been in a few, but there's this one that it was kind of like it was like you know everything counts. Outside they can bring a chair. It wasn't really like an extreme match, but it was no disqualification. That's the word. It
Yeah.
was I was with wrestling for the Day of the Kids. Actually, it's a celebration they do in Mexico for it's like Easter, but the Mexican version, right? And
Yeah.
so we decided to make a show dressed up as Marvel superheroes. You know where this is going. I dressed up obviously as Spider Man.
I
It
didn't
was
have.
it was a tag team, no disqualification match. I was dressed up as Spider Man. My friend was Captain America, and I was going against Venom and Black Panther, dude. And it was freaking cool because all the kids were like, "Yeah, Spider Man," And but where I'm going here is that Venom was like, I was like 15 years old back then, and I was like 100, and I was skinny, man. I was really skinny, and I was like 130 pounds, and Venom was a freaking bodybuilder, dude, twice the size as me and shit. And so we were wrestling and all that stuff. Brings out a chair, brings out a can, smash it in my face, smash it in my hits in my back, grabs my neck, and he goes into a steel barrel that was there, and he just like he kind of warned me about it, like, hey brother, like I'm about to hit you in the about to hit you with the steel barrel. I didn't hear that because the crowd was loud. Boom! I just went straight into my head into a steel barrel, the rim, and that obviously hurt crazy. And I was like in the ground laying. All the kids were like, "No, like Spider Man," you know. So he drags me into the ring. The announcer was like, oh my god, like Spider-Man is bleeding. Everybody, Spider-Man is bleeding. And all the kids were crying, trying to get into the ring. And I'm like, I'm not bleeding. What is he talking about? I go like this. Dude, my whole hand was covered in blood. It was
Oh,
like my very yeah, it was my very first time where I was like bleeding and I was like, holy crap, like I was a teenager. I was like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. Like, and from there we went into the locker rooms. Everybody was like, oh my god, I can see your brain. And I'm just like, no, like like no, my brain, like someone do something. And but yeah, but they just I thought they were gonna bring medics, but they just brought like toilet paper, electrical tape, good to go.
yeah. That's how it goes sometimes, man.
Yeah, but it was experience. It's a really interesting experience that I went through. But other than that, really not lately. It's just been doing just been other stipulations, just normal matches, tag team. What's it called? Mixed genders ones with females and males. I've been in a couple of those, but all good.
So, have you ever been part of an official tag team, or has it just been kind of like tag team matches here and there?
So right now, I'm currently in a where like the promotion that I been working the most in is it's called Skill Southwest Kansas Lucha Libre, and it's like a fresh promotion that's been 2 years, and I'm in a faction called Hell's Cartel.
Ooh, I love that name, man.
Yeah, so it's me, Diablo Vega, Bruisador, and Angel de Paz. So and Hector de Oro, he's kind of like jumping in. There's a weird situation with him going back and forth. He has like other goals, but we're about to debut that spoiler. We're about to debut that whole faction in Mexico. So it's coming soon, but it's nice. It's a sneak peek that I'm just giving you.
Yeah. I
Hell's
love that, man. I always love sneak peeks, and I can't wait to hear more about that and possibly see it online somewhere. So, when did you make your American debut then?
I made my American debut in 2019 in that year, and it was in Corpus Christi, Texas. It used to be a promotion called Victory Pro Wrestling. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Where I
I
rest.
don't believe so. I believe I've had other people mention it and said that they had shut down.
Yes, yeah, but yeah, they shut down due to some allegations that happened.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I debuted there without my mask, and I had like a little connection with this. I don't think he wrestles anymore. Joey Dynamite. He was from Corpus. He was a Corpus wrestler there. But yeah, that's where I debuted in the U.S. in 20. It was like
And what was it a good show there? Like
it was actually a good show. They would bring I they will they had a stacked roster within stars there in Texas. Uh, I forgot their name, but the production, the even the promoter, they were all humble. They were all like they were not like really picky, or they just let us do our. They gave us our hit times, obviously during the ring, but they would give us like free will of what to do in the ring. Just not kill yourself, right? But
yeah, just don't try and break each other's legs or anything crazy.
yeah. But that promotion, I felt that it really had so much potential, but things happens for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, look at you now. I mean, I can see that like you're a very popular wrestler. You get a pop from the crowd.
Yeah, that's my mission, my priority. Every time I go before a match, priority always first take care of my opponents and make them look good. That's my first priority, and then obviously make myself look good and interact with the fans afterwards, because you might be inspiring a future outstanding next boom of professional wrestling. So
Exactly.
you always got to be connected with the people no matter what.
So let's talk titles. What have you held? things like that. Have you had any championships yet?
Uh, I had only one championship right now, and it's in Oklahoma. I was a former RDW Red Dirt Wrestling Ironman Championship champion. That's in
Well,
Oklahoma. This promotion called Unify Wrestling Oklahoma, and that's another promotion that's growing more and more during this past months, and I'm really proud of that. That's the first company that I came back to wrestling with, that I looked into.
did you take a hiatus from wrestling?
Like a break.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here comes a fun fact, right? I'm currently in the military, so of course there's obviously a break, basic training, all the way to military school AIT. I couldn't do wrestling there until I got to my first station. So yeah, currently in the military. Yeah,
And everyone's just like, "Oh, hey, we're here with a wrestler." Huh?
yeah. It's I mean, the first reaction with my co-partners is like, "Hey, like invite me to the next match," and I got my group of friends. They come, they cheer me up. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I love that you have that for yourself, man. And
Yeah,
wrestling is a great and it's a really beautiful sport.
yeah. It's a beautiful sport that you just really connect with your partners in the locker rooms. It's like your second family. That's what I love about this sport. I can count on him. I can count on him. Obviously, there's always going to be sketchy people out there, no matter where you go. But you just got to pick your audience and show them the good things that you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm currently living in Oklahoma. As soon as I got stationed in Oklahoma, first thing I did, pro wrestling near me, and that's what popped up. Unified Wrestling Oklahoma.
That is awesome. I love that, man. So you're just right back in. As soon as you're out of training, you're immediately on back in the ring.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the reasons why I enlisted too. I enlisted for personal things like college, get the opportunity to get my college paid and to travel. And while I'm traveling, my plan was to like, all right, whatever I travel, whatever I station at, I'm gonna wrestle there because it's a dream to me to become a high named wrestler and be an example for the younger audience to follow the good habits. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you are doing great at that. You're a very positive person. You've enlisted in the military. You're doing the best for yourself, and you're still going to college while wrestling. So you want that higher education. That's a great thing.
Yeah,
Can I ask
yeah,
what you're going for?
yeah, yeah. Go, go.
What are you going to college for?
Oh, I'm
Or what do you?
doing business administration. That's gonna be my bachelor's business administration. Because
All right, is that going to play into wrestling?
maybe I honestly doing it because, and this is actually a tip and an advice. I'm not really an experienced wrestler that's been decades or years, but the most advice that I've heard from my coaches, my masters, it's always have a backup plan no matter what. Uh, so that's really like my backup plan. Everybody has always told me during my wrestling career, either do college or have a good secure job behind. Wrestling is not the only source. Either God forbid someone gets hurt, you don't got a second plan, right? You don't got a
Yeah,
second plan, and you're just out there struggling and all that. So that's really the reason I'm doing college and business administration because I want to open a business with my family too. That's another thing. Help my mom. She has like a refinery closed business in Mexico, so that's really another thing. And my dad, we have projects too. So
it's
it
really
kind of
awesome, man.
thank you. Yeah.
So speaking of people getting hurt, have you ever been hurt in the ring other than your big gash on your head?
Yeah, dude. I've been hurt quite, but luckily no major injuries or nothing. Either in practice or uh, two times in wrestling. Like the last time I got hurt, I was wrestling in Texas for this wrestling company called 936 Wrestling in Texas, Livingston, and I was wrestling one of I think his name was Genesis. I think he's Booker T's students. Well, in that school, a
Yeah.
really good wrestler. And I did a 450 splash, but I overdid it, and my hand would like
Ooh.
immediately after that. I was like, dang! Like I even saw in slow motion my hand going like over flexing, and this like this went over here, and I'm like, oh please, please God, like I hope I didn't like fracture it or major injury.
Fracture. Easily a fracture.
Now, like I was lucky, like I got extra tape and shit, and like I got up, I finished the whole drill. That was the end of the match, luckily. Uh, and I got up and they raised my hand, and I'm just like this. I'm like, damn it! Like I got outside of the ring, and I'm like, I immediately went to it was in the woods. That was the locker rooms, just some random woods. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
and I went there, took my tape off, and I'm just like, with the adrenaline, your body warmed up, you don't really feel it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I feel here, I feel like just I'm moving my fingers, and I feel something swollen here, and I can move it, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then later on, they started getting swole. Actually, this part started getting swole. So it was these fingers that over extended. These were good. My wrist was good, so I clicked. I've been hurt in practice before like that, so pour some. I went into I went to Walmart, got a bucket, got salt, Tylenol, ibuprofen, just to get swole down, and ice, right? Put bucket of water, hot water. I was in the hotel with a freaking bucket of water like this, and I'm just like, all right, all right, all right. Swollen now, cold water. Just did that. Uh, put some pomade, I think this was called. Wrap it around, and I was like that for like a week, and I was good to go from there. But
So you got quick treatments for yourself, and that and you're good to go, huh?
yeah, it's just some things like I said, when I was in practice in Mexico, long time ago when I was a kid, I was practicing chain wrestling. You know how we do a lot of chain wrestling in Mexico. My
Yeah.
coach, I did like an arm drag to him, and I put my hand behind his back. Same thing, brother. Phew. He literally flipped over me because I did an arm drag. He was selling it, and boom, Matt was here. I put my hand like this, and his body went like on my hand like this.
Oh, oh, whoa.
So I was like, that now that it popped, like I heard a pop, and I'm like, oh crap! I was like, hey, stop, 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 and I'm just like, they were like, what? And I'm like, he started checking me, and like, all right, just stand by outside. And I was like, well, you got some ice? And they were like, no, but we got some frozen tortillas. and I'm and I'm like, all right, that'll work. I put it on, and I had a giant ball right here, like swollen, and I couldn't do this. And same thing, my grandfather, my dad, and all three, like my brother too, they taught me this method. The bucket of water, ice. Just keep doing that until it goes down. So I've been hurt a few times, but thank God, nothing major.
I'm glad to hear there was nothing major there with any of the pain or nothing. So,
Yeah.
what's your biggest match that you've had?
Biggest match. I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. The last one that I just had with Tucson, I'm gonna say that was a big match for me and my personal opinion.
With toxin?
Yeah, or the one that I had in Mexico last December. It was a fatal six man match, like for a title. I was going against like really good like elite high fighters from my hometown, but Toxin it's up there, one of those two,
Yeah.
because that will explain why. Like Toxin, I used to watch this guy when I was in middle school. I'm 23 years old currently, and I used to watch this guy in middle school. His when he first started with Mr. Iguana, you know that guy. Like,
Oh yeah, everyone knows Mystery Guano.
yeah, and he had like that when they first started, Eris, Latigo, like, and I was like, oh fuck, like these guys are pretty high speed. Like, until my promoter from Skill, Angel the Bus, that promoter, he just randomly on a random Tuesday before the weekend of the show, hey, by the way, I just got this high star wrestler. I'm like, how did you did that? Like, how did you do that? And I'm like, he just, hey, like, I got connections. And like, he came up with Toxin. He made a deal with him. And he was like, hey, Andrew, you and Diablo, some other friend, you're gonna have a triple threat. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got one of my friends from a faction and Toxin. So we're gonna make a banger, a three triple threat match. But then Diablo, unfortunately, his car got messed up, so it was just a 1v1, me and Toxin. And I'm like, oh damn! Like I low key was telling my
Damn.
friends, yeah, like damn, like now, like a few years later, I'm about to face the guy that I used to see like after middle school class and stuff like that as a kid. So I was nervous, like everything went
Yeah, of
well.
course we're nervous. I mean, of course you were. I know the feeling, man. Just a few months ago, I opened for a music artist who I literally listened to during school all the time.
Like I'm telling you, like that. You just want to like leave, you just want to disappear, but it's like you can because like you see it
The
as an
dream is
opportunity.
right there. You can't take off now. But
Yeah, but
yeah, I get that feeling, man. Every
I'm
time I
glad
started down there.
I start sweating bullets. I'm like, sleeping on my bed. I'm like, oh my god, like, I just want to get it over with.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
everything went well. I met him, really humble guy. We're gonna plan something in the future too. But yeah, the match went amazing. Uh, and yeah, and for the match that in Mexico, that was low key another challenge for me because uh, the pace that luchadors have is really different from the U.S. wrestlers. Both of
Oh
them
yeah,
are
definitely.
both of them are amazing. But for me, like the pacing mixture in Mexico is more acrobats and more hittings and more running around, and that's what makes lucha libre magic. Because
That's why I love Lucha Libre so much.
yeah. And I remember I got announced for Millennials Wrestling Factory promotion in Mexico, in my hometown. They announced me, boom, Andrew Bridge coming to debuting to MWF, and I was like, oh heck yeah! Like I got in, I'm ready. I'm going for the Millennials champion, main champion. But then there was people saying like, already saw it because I like 2 years ago or a year, I debuted back in Mexico without the mask. Now a whole different character. I wrestled back in Mexico again. Have a note that I was in a dirty bulk phase, uh, and I lost. I didn't lose any, but I just lost my stamina, my conditioning, you know. And I low key was like getting tired in the first match that I had back in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So I learned from my mistakes. I took care of my body, and debuting again in Mexico, like in MWF, because I wrestled in Lucha Time, and then like at the beginning of January last year, I wrestled in Lucha Time. That was in my dirty bulk phase. But in December, I cut my weight. I started training more stamina, and people saw me last time, right? And they were like commenting like, "Oh, well, this guy was nah, he was slow last time, or he got tired, or why are you bringing him?" People start doubting on me. You know what I'm saying? Like
She had to come through and just prove them all wrong.
exactly. That's what I do. At first I'm like, well, dang, like people are not really excited, but hey, like I'm I'm about to prove them wrong. I took my training serious. I started training every day, uh, working hard, studying my opponents, obviously, like of course, until I finally went to Mexico. Did a couple lucha training again to get back on my feet, get back on the pace. Went to MWF. I put a banger, and everybody was like, everybody was like, oh, that was amazing. They really like my job, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of myself for that. They really like my job, and I'm happy to come back there in December and show them more and connect more with the fans, with the people there.
Yeah, I know you're gonna do great when you get there. So,
Thank you.
I guess I got a couple more questions before I have to let you go here. I guess since you wrestle in Texas sometimes, what's your opinion on the lack of drug testing there with pro wrestling?
Well, I wasn't really aware of that, but uh, I guess it should be like,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't know about that subject, but now that you
yeah, it's
say
fully
it,
unregulated for drugs.
well, I think the commission from like the Texas commissioning, I guess they should do more drug testing more often. You know, we're trying to set an example for the younger audience to do the right thing. You know, you know what I'm saying. Trying to go to like
Yeah,
because we're like we're figures to the younger audience in pro wrestling, and whatever we do, they're gonna take it as an example. If we do the right thing, they'll do the right thing. If we do the wrong thing, they'll probably start doing other stuff that's probably not good. So we should start doing the right thing more often on pro wrestling, and I think it should be more stricter with the drug testing and all that stuff.
I agree with that because I mean, how are we going to have a sport that's dangerous and injures people, but we or can injure people? It doesn't like outright injure people, but and then no drug testing. Someone could be in there on steroids. Someone could be in there on anything, and you don't know what you're dealing with.
Exactly, and not only that, it can even besides the steroids, like if it's on any other drug or alcohol, it can either put in danger their partners, their opponents, and it can cause them an injury that can have them for the rest of their lives. You know, it's a safety. It's like a hazard
Yeah, I mean
being.
that's the thing, especially with other drugs.
Yeah, yeah,
Like if somebody's doing a move and you become dead weight, that's horrible.
yeah. It's always to check on each other before the match,
Well,
and if you have the opportunity, you know, try to in the most respectful way, try to tell them to do the right thing. And if they take it the wrong way, well,
exactly. I mean that's all you can really do.
yeah.
So I guess the last one. This one's kind of a tough one, but who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? They can be the luchadors from Mexico, independent scene wrestlers, people from like WWE or things like that. Anyone who wrestles. Who's your
Like
top
what,
four? Your Mount Rushmore.
my top four like favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was ready for this. I was ready for this, my friend. Uh, but I'll say number four. I'm gonna have to put I'm gonna have to put Kenny Omega number four. Right. I got Kenny
All
Omega.
right.
I got La Sombra Andrade, which unfortunately he just got released from WWE, but he's an amazing wrestler. I used to look up to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back somewhere soon. We know that. He's never
Yeah,
inactive for long.
exactly. Yeah. But when he had the mask and he was an independent wrestler, that was peak. In my opinion, that was peak Andrade. But no,
Oh yeah, easily.
he still put on bangers on NXT though. Like when he was on NXT with Johnny Gargano and all those people, crazy. But all right, Kenny Omega, Andrade. We got Místico second. You know, that's how I love them even in his Sin Cara face, not the other Sin Cara, but the first Sin Cara face, where they which they call him
Yeah.
Botch Cara. But hey, I'll defend Mystico till the end. I don't care.
If only they could see him now, right?
Yeah. And then number one, I got Will Ospreay. That's my top. That's my to go.
That's your inspiration, if I
That's
remember correctly.
yeah, that's my inspiration. That I hope one day one of my dreams is to face him. I know he had like an injury right now, right? Or
I
he had
believe so. Yeah.
next surgery, but that's my dream opponent. Like, hope one day I can see him, I can wrestle with him, or even train with him, and I can, you know, get all his advice and put into it. That's kind of like my style that I want to wrestle like him, and yeah,
Yeah, I
that's my goal.
really hope that happens for you, man. You deserve it. You deserve all of that. You are doing great things. But we are about out of time. So if there's anything you want to tell everyone before I let you go, you have the floor all to yourself one last time.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your attention, watching this amazing podcast. I really looking forward to wrestle in your town if I ever have the chance. And always do good things. Don't do drugs. Don't drink. and stay on track with sports no matter what. Stay on track. You know, your body is a temple. Treat it right. That's all.
That's right, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm
Thank you.
glad I
Thank you
could
very much.
interview you.
It's an
Have a
honor
great night, man.
too.